Kid from Akron. 17 years.
No, right?
Hold on, Allie wants to jump in.
I don't want you to get too comfortable yet.
She's jumping.
Because I can't believe posture. Well done.
Always.
You got
Yep,
it.
always.
I can't believe you just went through that entire press conference and no one brought the heat as you brought with your kick game today. Can you show?
Can you show us,
get him
please?
up here?
Where the camera? Where the camera?
so
at?
we gotta go. Can you see?
I mean,
You
these
see those?
There it is.
Oh,
these are
yeah.
some. Today is Friday, so like a little flashback.
Flashback
Yeah,
Friday.
A little flashback Friday. LeBron 7.
Why? Why the
Yeah.
7?
That's nice.
17.
That's
Year
nice.
17. So we're
That's
going, you
nice.
know,
You
do a
always
little
have
7.
something.
You know, Laker colorway.
Method to
you
your
know, Laker
madness.
faithful. I'm happy to be back.
One
This is-
purple, one go. I like that.
Yeah. You know, do a little something.
Unique.
So
You're welcome.
LeBron had this whole thing to start with, the off season, but then we just
Yeah.
showed this graphic, and I know you're a historian of the game,
Yeah.
and Big Game James loves that. 4th all-time leading scorer. It's crazy, right?
It is crazy. I mean, especially for, you know, someone who can care less about scoring. You know, I mean, it's not my primary thing that I like to do. You know, I'm more of a guy who like to see my teammates shine, get them involved in the game. But I've been put in positions where my team needed scoring, so that's how I'm able to, I guess, sit at 4th right now.
It's nice.
That's crazy.
It's nice.
It's crazy.
And LeBron, I know you were asked this earlier by the rest of the media, but it is crazy to think. I think the last time you were done by April 9th, you were 20.
Yeah, I was 20. It was my
years
second
old.
year, yeah.
You said you didn't miss one playoff game. We thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
We discussed it. But what was it like for you mentally and physically?
I mean, it was first of all, the beginning of the summer was very challenging because I just haven't, like you said, you just said it, I haven't been off that long since my second year in the league when I was 20 years old. So it was challenging, but once I settled in and was like, okay, there's always some good to what other people think is bad. So the great thing about it is the first time I also got an opportunity to rest my body. You know, I haven't had that much rest for my body to kind of reset everything, kind of strip down the car and actually rebuild it back up for the long haul. So I was very excited about that. And also, it's been a long time since I actually got an opportunity to spend that much time with my family as well. You know, because, you know, between, you know, the going to the finals multiple years over and over and over, as Big Game would attest to, and then you add on the Olympics as well. I played in 3 Olympics along that timeline as well. So it was pretty cool.
So many Taco Tuesdays.
Shout out to the Dodgers, by
Did you
the
see
way.
the Dodgers?
Did you see the Dodgers?
Yeah, they hit
By
me
the
with
way.
a,
Cody
hit me with a
Bellinger?
Taco Tuesday on a Thursday. I was like, you know what? It's the Dodgers. Go ahead,
By the way,
guys.
legit costume.
Yeah, the legit costume. Everything.
Awesome. That was awesome. For you, LeBron, I know you've always said you don't need any extra motivation.
But I got some this summer.
We're not on talk
Oh.
mode, though.
Oh.
But I'm not in talk mode. My mom told me. I wish I could elaborate a little bit more.
When you're on this desk, you're
My
in
mom
talk
told
mode.
me, she was like, listen, don't talk about it, be about it. But there's some motivation for me. There was a lot of conversations going on this summer, and I was just very quiet. And I am going to maintain quiet, but I am very motivated.
But you also shot a movie.
Yes.
But you also were in the gym at the
Yeah.
crack of dawn.
Yes.
How were you able to balance it all?
Sometimes I ask myself, how do you do it? How am I able to balance shooting a movie for 3 months, 12, 14 hours a day on set? But I know what the main thing never changes for me, and that's putting in the time and putting in my commitment to the game of basketball. No matter what I'm doing, no matter if I'm, you know, on shows or I'm creating shows or I'm shooting a movie as I did with Space Jam, the main thing continues to remain the same thing, and that is how I can get better with the game of basketball and be better for my teammates when I show back up for training camp.
I remember after playing in the playoffs up until May and June, I remember not making the playoffs that year. And I was like, what the hell is going on? You don't know what to do with yourself.
Right, you don't.
You're frustrated the first couple weeks. You know, you start working out too early or you're trying to work too hard. What was the one thing, though, that you reflected back on that you can bring to this season that's gonna help you? You know, because you've been a leader every year.
Yeah.
You had so much to take on. What was the one thing you reflected on this year?
I think the one thing that I reflected on was I kind of early on I wanted to kind of see what was going to happen last year, you know, because I knew we were very young. We were very young with our team last year, so I wanted to kind of see what was going to happen with our team instead of come in and kind of, you know, giving my voice a little bit more, you know, being more vocal You know, because I wanted to allow the young guys to kind of learn, and I knew that at some point throughout the season they would have to kind of figure out on their own as well. So I wanted to kind of see that early on, and it was different for me. I've kind of never done that over the last, I would say, 14 years. I've always come in and kind of just got right to it, especially vocally. But now it kind of changes, but at the same time, we have a veteran ball club now. Mm-hmm. It's a totally different team now. We have a veteran ball club where I can now pick and choose when I want to be more vocal, because now we have AD, who's very vocal as well, that people don't know about. He's a great leader. Rondo is in his second year with the team, who's was huge. Jared Dudley is very vocal, that people don't know about it. Well, I would call him Jared Dudley, but we call him Duds on the team.
Yeah.
We got nicknames.
He's going to be very valuable to this
very
set.
Valuable, very valuable. So to this set and to this court right here. I'm just looking forward to everything. I reflected on a lot as far as on the court, off the court, how I can be better. It's not the season that I wanted any of the Laker faithful to remember me by in my first year. So I'm extra motivated by that in his own sense.
LeBron, AD is no longer on the way. Anthony Davis is a Laker, and that's got a real nice.
He is not on the way. He is here.
That is a real nice ring to it. We've talked about it all summer long, just how your games complement each other. I want to hear it from you. How do you envision this partnership on and off the court? Because you're good friends.
Yeah. First of all, off the court is just super, super duper easy, because we would have mutual respect for each other for so long. I've known him and his family for quite a long time now. He's actually at my basketball camp when he was in high school.
Crazy.
Wow. When I used to have my basketball camp back in my hometown of Akron, Ohio. So I've known him all the way from back then, and then just watching him from afar and seeing the things that he's been able to accomplish, even still at such a young age. This kid is 26 years old. Mm-hmm. He's 26 years old, and he is I remember when I was 26 as well. He is in the prime of his game, and I think I'm so excited to be out there with him. We just complement each other so well, because we're two selfless guys. One, it's all about the team, and we're two guys that care so much about our teammates being successful, and that's what it all boils down to.
All about the team, but when it comes to AD, he's already, I think, set a standard and a bar in terms of when he said he wants to be the Defensive Player of the Year, but also wants to hold you to that standard as well. What went through your mind?
Oh, let's do it. I love it. Mm-hmm. I mean, you know me, Alice. I mean, I love a challenge. Yep. I love a challenge, and for AD to set that standard, like everyone's talking like how great the Lakers can be offensively, and the combined points per game from AD and LeBron and what they can accomplish. And then you have AD say, I want to be the Defensive Player of the Year, alongside a guy who's been a Defensive Player of the Year in Dwight Howard, a guy that JaVale McGee, who's a defensive guy, Avery Bradley, who's a defensive guy, KCP, Danny Green. Danny Green first team all defense last year. Okay, so
do you have it in you at this point of your career?
I got whatever is needed for the team at this point in my career. You tell me what's needed to be done, I can get it done.
You hear that? Tweet that out.